Well, then, thank you so much, everyone. There is heat in the politics of Rivers State as violent activities have been recorded a couple of times. The governorship candidate of the Social-Democratic Party, SDP, in Rivers State, Senator Magnus Abe, says he escaped assassination attempt when unknown gunmen, according to him, attacked his campaign train at Akinima community in Awada West local government area of the state. Senator Abe and his team had earlier visited Ubeita and other communities in the area before heading to Akinema, which is the headquarters of the local government area, when they came under heavy gun attack. Tonight, we'll be looking at the politics of Rivers State. In the midst of the peace accord signed by leaders of the different political parties, does look like Rivers State, things are getting heated in that Niger Delta state, in the south-south region of the country. Let's speak tonight with the candidate, the governorship candidate of the Social-Democratic Party, Senator Magnus Abe. He joins us live from Port Harcourt in Rivers State. Thank you so much, Senator Abe, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Cheryl, for having me.
Great. Give us an understanding of what is really going on with the campaigns in, you said the other day, 3 days or 2 days ago, on Monday specifically, there was the report of the attack on your campaign. What happened?
Well, it's been quite a very traumatic experience for those of us who are trying to campaign here in Rivers State and trying to take our message of hope in a better tomorrow across the Rivers State. This is not the first time this kind of thing is happening. It's actually the fifth time that we have gone targeted at us for simply trying to go around to share our message of a better tomorrow with Rivers people. Our visit at Lima happened with some hiccups. First of all, we had to postpone things to Lima because we got a report that all the canopies and states that brought out to host the event at Lima, because the opening of our office and to address our supporters and members. The canopies were destroyed by storm. The activity was led and sponsored by the chairman of the local government area. Now, after we got that report, we had to delay our visit and visit some of the other locations first, while we try to now relocate the event to a community hall somewhere in the town. Again, the same people came to the hall and then scattered everything that was there, pulled out our banners, and forcefully, with the help of some security agents, moved everybody out of the place. And I said, okay, we should go to the party office if we wanted to open, and that I will still go there to try to share our message with whoever was there to encourage them. And then on time to get to the local government, 2 vehicles were brought out by local government chairman and his councillors, the storms, and armed government, and they blocked the road. And when we find...
Well, we seem to be having some difficulties with the connection with Senator Magnus Abe. At some point on the program, we will also try to get some reactions from the ruling party and the government of the day, because when this kind of situation is happening, there must be some answers. There must be reasons why all of this is happening. And how can a state that go into an election with this kind of violence and the fear that is going on? Senator Abe, if you can hear me, there was a momentary loss of connection with you. But I mean, if you're back with us, can you land on the thought that you were on before the hitch?
Well, sure, I don't know if you can hear me. Because,
I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Yes. I was saying that this is not the first time, and these are not unknown gunmen. All this violence in the local government areas are being sponsored by the chairman of the local government areas on the instructions of of the governor and their party, the PDP. When we went to the waterfront in Okrika, we were attacked. Guns were used freely and openly in front of the security agency. And our canopies and things were destroyed, and people were threatened, stoned, and, you know, with guns, and forced to, we had to leave the place. When we went to Oyibo, people with guns in broad daylight, there were videos of them. They came out and said the state chairman of the PDP, that was his community, and therefore SDP could not come there to campaign. When we went to Thai local government, the chairman of the local government came out personally to sponsor these attacks on our party office there. There was so much shooting, bullets were flying everywhere. And this was done in the open, in the presence of the police. And the funny thing is that the police commissioner issued a separate statement to say that what happened in Thai was infighting between the parties, while the local government chairman himself insisted that he was enforcing Order 21 and 22. And that he came there, he didn't come with thugs, he came with security agency. So I don't know how you can describe this kind of situation as being done by unknown government. The attack in Akilima was sponsored by the chairman of the local government, the cars that were used to block our entrance into Akilima belong to councillors that are serving in the local government. The thugs that opened fire on us there were people who were sponsored by the local government. So this is not a case of unknown gunmen. These gunmen are known, their identities are known.
Senator Abe, yeah, you have mentioned people's names to these attacks.
Yes.
And these are very grave allegations that you are making with people's names. And I mean, it's actually very strong allegations actually that you're making tonight. What evidence do you have to support your claims tonight that these men that you have, mentioned their names? Did you see them on the ground? How did you know they sponsored it?
There are videos. When we went to Oyibo, the thugs who blocked the road, they had guns. They mentioned the name of Desmond Akawo. I didn't say it here. They said it there. When we went to Okrika waterfront, the people who came to harass us were known. Those who sent them were also known. When we went to Thai local government, the chairman of the local government himself was on air to say that he was the one who went there to attack the place, and that he went there with the security agency. He did not go with thugs. These are on record. These are what they said themselves. And the police said that it was a clash between internal matter of the party. But the chairman of the local government, came on air to say that he was the one who went there to enforce Order 21 and Order 22. So I'm not just mentioning people's names. These are issues that are in public circulation here in Rivers State. When we went to Akinima, the two vehicles that were used to block the road to prevent us from having access to the local government belongs to 7 staff of the local government who are councillors there. So I'm not just mentioning names, I'm telling you what actually happened. The people who went to the hall in Oyibo to go and pull down our banners and destroy our meetings, their names, we have called their names out. There are people who are known, Honorable Chisom, or whatever his name is. These are people who are known to everybody here in the state. So these are not things, there are no unknown gunmen acting in Rivers State. What is happening in Rivers State is officially sponsored terrorism that is happening with the connivance of the security agency. In fact, right now, Sharon, what is happening is that they have drawn up a list of active mobilizers of the SDP, and they are catching them, they are arresting them, kidnapping them practically, dragging them to court, and incarcerating them for the period of the elections. Today, a well-known businessman and mobilizer for the SDP, Honorable Charles Tenalo from Gokana, my own local government, was arrested for kidnapping. And before he has even been allowed to make a statement, he was taken to court and remanded in prison custody. That is what is going on in Rivers State in the 21st century. So I don't know who is talking about unknown gunmen. There are no unknown gunmen acting here. What is going on here?
Senator Abe, I mean, you are, as a former lawmaker and a former secretary to the government of the Federation, you know the workings of a state government. Have you laid complaints? If you are making these allegations, or you're saying that this is you said it, and that is an official terrorism, and these are strong words that you have used tonight. I mean, have you made any official claims or communication with the government of Rivers State in this respect?
We have made every complaint. We have complained to the Inspector General of Police, the national chairman of our party, even today has written to the National Security Advisor, he has written to INEC, he has written to the Inspector General of Police, and the documents are all there. All these things are documented. So what is happening in Rivers State is state-sponsored terrorism. As we speak now, there is a list of members of the SDP that are to be arrested. People's names, it is known, they have told it today in Bori town, the Eze Ndibu of Bori, Eze Akarakara, the deputy, the Honorable Dumdeko, went to his store today to say that he must move out of Bori because he's supporting SDP. All these things are going on openly. Nothing is hidden. The whole country is seeing it, and nobody is saying anything. Nobody is doing anything about it. How are we going to have elections if the state will keep quiet and allow people to terrorize other citizens who are merely trying to carry out their own civic obligations? This kind of situation is totally unwarranted and unacceptable. So there is no unknown gunmen at play here. What is at play here in Rivers State is state-sponsored terrorism. That's what is going on here.
Those are strong allegations you've made, Senator Abe. But we're due for a break, everyone. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll be getting some reactions from the state government in Rivers State on these allegations that have been made by Senator Magnus Abe. Stay with me, everyone. The 2023 verdict continues after now. We were speaking with the SDP governorship candidate in Rivers State. Let's get the other side of the divide in this conversation. There are allegations about issues of violence. I'm being joined on the program by the Commissioner for Information in Rivers State, Mr. Chris Feinborn. Thank you so much, Mr. Feinborn, for joining us tonight. Heavy allegations are leveled against your government and the PDP, the ruling party in Rivers State. How do you react to some of these allegations?
Well, if you can hear me.
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Let me make it very clear, for the benefit of our viewers at least, that the Rivers State government abhors violence of any kind. The Rivers State government has zero tolerance for violence of any kind, including politically related violence. That is not what we do, and that is not what we will ever encourage. Now, sitting here and listening to Senator Abe make the allegations he was making, it broke my heart. It broke my heart because this is a path that opposition parties in Rivers State have always taken. They always blame everything on the government except themselves. They don't blame themselves at all. Now, if you listen to him, he never in any way indicated that his party did everything right and got the short end of the stick from hoodlums or wherever. He never said that they complied with the executive orders 21 and 22. Now, the police very often advise the prospective protesters never to protest, especially when they sense that hoodlums and undesirable elements will hijack such protests. It is not because they want to prevent those who want to genuinely protest, but because they have sensed that the purpose will be defeated by these undesirable persons. And it is on that account that prior to the heightening of political activities, Rivers State government decided that all of the doubts that get created along the path will have to be cleared so that we don't run into problem again, problem of violence, problem of all kinds of things. And the government decided that, look, there is the need to institute Executive Order 21, which essentially requests, makes it mandatory for a political party that wants to use any place for campaigns to apply, get permission. The benefits are many when there is such an order. Even the police will be helped in their job, and there will be order. And government came out with that lofty executive order, followed by the Executive Order 22, which prescribed that, look, just like you have places of worship and of faith springing all over the place, some in the middle of very residential areas, in the middle of all kinds of places. That order is meant to ensure that people do not set up places of, not just places of politics, not just campaign offices and all that, but it specified the number of activities that should not be. Should not open their offices within residential areas. And if it has to be done, then those who intend to do that should apply to government. Get permission.
Mr. Feinberg,
yes.
Yeah, you heard Senator Abbey earlier, and he mentioned some names. Although I was a bit uncomfortable with that, because mentioning names, that means one thing, that he has confirmation on the claims that he has made. But he said that there are videos to attest to the activities or the involvement of these persons. These persons, you are aware or you know about them, don't you? He says they are the chairman of some of these local government areas where these violence are fomented. Can you react to those specific situations? Especially in Ahawada West, where
that is actually where I was going to. It was more heartbreaking for me to listen to the senator say this, having regard to the fact that he rose to almost the apex of his job in government as secretary to government. He should know that it is difficult. I don't think he did it when he was at that level in government. It is difficult for government at that level, or officials of government at that level, to go and fiddle with little street touchings to cause problem. I don't think it's very, very easy. And he knows it. That is where it broke my heart. If things happen at certain levels, you might excuse it and begin to say, okay, let's inquire into it. But not to blame the government or the governor or high government officials to be involved. Now, why I started with the executive orders is that the chief security officers of local governments are the local chairman are the local chief security officers of the local governments. And if there are issues of law and order, they lead in enforcing, not to physically lead, but to help security agencies to say, look, we think our laws are step in and handle it. That is different from street touchings, getting violent and doing all sorts of things. We completely abhor all those kind of actions. And I can tell you that government has no hand in it. And I don't think any responsible local government chairman or government official would involve in that level of government as he described. Violence. I believe that situations that we are created by his party and other parties who vowed that they will never obey laws, orders of government and all that, and therefore decided to step out and use facilities, particularly government facilities, without permission. That gave room for these hoodlums to step in and latch onto the gaps that existed.
All right, Mr. Feinberg, just a moment. Mr. Feinberg, just a moment. Let me, because I still have Senator Abe here with us. Senator Abe, you've heard the commissioner. How do you react to some of those things? Has he been able to deal with your concerns or some of the issues that you have raised tonight?
You know, my friend Chris Feinbaum started very well when he said that this is what opposition parties have been saying, because he knows that that is exactly what I'm saying now is what he was saying when he was the spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress, because he knows that what I'm saying is true, and that is what is happening in the state. In Thai, the Thai local government chairman came out to say that he went to the SDP office to enforce Order 21 and 22 physically. There was shooting, there was violence. You have the videos. In Oyibo, the hoodlums that came out were the ones who called the name of Desmond Akawo. The video is also with you, Shehu. In Akinima, the local government chairman was the one who went with security agencies to the office to drive the people out of the place where we were to have our function. In Degema, it was the same thing. So what is happening in Rivers State is state-sponsored terrorism, and it is being sponsored and heralded through the local government chairman in the state. And it has now extended to where mobilizers, members, chieftains of the Social Democratic Party are being targeted for arrest and incarceration. This is Nigeria. We are going to contest the election and we are going to win the election. No amount of intimidation, no amount of violence will stop Rivers people from voting.
Quickly, Senator,
so
let me allow...
do not have the idea or the intention to contest the election should go and prepare for election, because there will be elections in Rivers State. That's the reality.
Senator, let me allow the commissioner to react to this. Commissioner, you've heard again from Senator Abe. Your reaction, please.
Is that I lost you at a point. I just got back now.
Okay, so it pretty much doubled down on the fact that the state is using local government chairmen to foment trouble. And it says state-sponsored terrorism. How do you react to it? Quickly, please.
That is far from it. I think the senator is simply playing politics. He is well known to the corridors of power to know that that cannot be true. What you find is that the opposition parties always look for cheap excuses whenever they underperform or they believe they will underperform, in order to also show up their own image before their people and all that. I don't think that is true. What I find happening is that these parties, these little known parties, are not ready for election in Rivers to blame and cheap excuses and exits.
All right.
Of them will exit. Yeah.
Mr. Feinbaum, we need to close now, and I'd like to get your view on this matter before we close. There's been reaction coming from the PDP in Rivers State and the APC as well, the denial of the venue for the PDP event, which it's been alleged that there are factions of the APC that are in cahoots with the PDP in the organization, and it was addressed to the chairman, the DG of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council, the governor of Sokoto State. How do you react to what has been a response coming this evening that it amounts to an amateur ventriloquism to suggest that Rivers State APC and our governorship candidate is working in cahoots with the state chapter of the PCC? Your quick reaction on this matter.
Well, I do not know who is working with who. All I know is that the situation is fluid and the state government continues to review things every other hour, every other day. And if the state government has become convinced that the APC people, everywhere they went to, created violence, created problem, I think the government is required to be proactive enough to do the...
Thank you so much, Mr. Chris Feinborn, the Commissioner for Information.
And therefore, there are many reasons. You know how government works. There must be very good reasons why.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Chris Feinborn, the Commissioner for Information in Rivers State, and as well Senator Magnus Abe, the SDP governorship candidate in Rivers State.